So we'll continue from our MCQs. Page 75, we had stopped. So today's class, I will take another 2-hour marathon. 2 hours in the sense we'll continuously solve for 2 hours and we'll stop. We were doing MCQs in the last class. Today also we'll continue. And as and when I approach the problem, I'll tell you the logic and we will solve it together. So today, how many ever problems we solve, I'll be giving you the solution also. I want every one of you to understand today's class. Okay. So we will start with page number 75, question number 19. I think till there we had stopped in the last class. Okay. So start from page 75, question number 19. Where did we stop in the last class? Tell me which question.
18.
Question 18.
18.
Question 18, right? So question 19 onwards, we will start. And this time take the homework very carefully and I want the homework to be done properly. Okay? This is not a Mehndi book that you're randomly scribbling. Okay, start. Try to solve, then I'll also give you the answer. Okay, start. Okay, now listen to the question. What is it, Ruchit? What did you message me? What happened?
Sir, last lecture I was absent, so
You will get the recording from
yeah.
ma'am also. If you want, I'll also give you the link. The link is
Yeah,
present.
fine.
Okay? See now, a boy walks uniformly along the sides of a rectangular path of size 400 meter cross 300 meter. So, you know, rectangle will have length cross breadth. Please look at the screen. So this will be 300. This will be 400. Can I say this is a park whose dimensions are 400 cross 300, starting from one corner, So please look at the screen. Maybe he will start from this corner, okay? Starting from one corner to the other corner diagonally opposite. Means till this corner. So how he is walking? He is walking over here first. Then he is walking over here. Agree? So how is he walking? He is walking like this. First over here and then over here. So can I say he has reached a point which is diagonally opposite his starting point?
Yes.
Correct. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Which of the following statement is incorrect? First, he has traveled a distance of 700 meters.
Correct.
This is correct because first he has traveled 400
and
then he has traveled 300.
Yes.
His displacement is 700. Wrong. Displacement is not same as distance. What will be the displacement? Displacement will be this line. What is displacement? Final point minus initial point. If you know Pythagoras theorem, can you tell me if this side is 4 and this side is 3, can I say this side will be 500?
Yes, sir.
What is the displacement formula? Final position minus initial position along the shortest path, correct?
Yes.
So can I say displacement would be 500? I told 500 directly. You know how did I get 500? From Pythagoras?
Pythagoras theorem.
If this is 3, if this is 4, this will be 5, correct? If
Yes.
this is 3 and this is 4, this will be 5.
Right.
Correct? Now, his displacement is 700 meter is wrong. His displacement is 700 meter, that is wrong. Okay, now look at option C. His displacement is 500 meter. That is correct.
Yes.
We just came to know that his displacement is 500 meter. His velocity is not uniform. That is a wrong statement because look at the first statement in the question. A boy walks uniformly. That means he walks with uniform velocity. What is option D? His velocity is not uniform.
Means it wrong.
Okay. So now can I say between B and D, I have a confusion because both are wrong.
Yes.
Between B and D, both are wrong. But which is definitely wrong? B is definitely wrong.
Yes.
Now D, why do you think this statement might be correct, or why do you think this statement might be partially correct? His velocity is not uniform throughout the work. Because they have not mentioned anything about velocity in the question. Just check. It's ambiguous. So he may be walking, he may not be walking. Has the word been given uniform velocity in the question? No.
No.
So maybe he's not walking with uniform velocity. So can I say if I'm confused between option B and option D, which option is definitely wrong?
B.
Can I say option B is definitely wrong? His displacement is 700. Therefore, answer for this particular question is B. This is the first question we have done today. Tell me if you have understood this, all of you. Clear? Done?
Yes, sir.
Oh, perfect. Now, let me go to the next question. And next question is again, page number 75. Question number 20. Start. Page 75, question number 20. I'll give you 30 seconds more to give me this answer. What does page 75 means where? Ruchit? Page 75 means in the module, fundamental foundation physics. Ruchit? Ruchit? From our foundation physics module, page 75. Samarth, correct answer. Very good. Others try to answer. Okay. 30 seconds more, then I will solve it for you on the screen. Okay, Krish, correct. Now please look at the screen. A unit vector parallel to the resultant of the vectors. That means two vectors are given. One is A vector is equal to 4i plus 3j plus 6k, and B vector is equal to minus I plus 3j minus 8k. Now what is the resultant? Resultant, I will find the unit vector parallel to the resultant of the vectors. That means first let me find the resultant of the vectors. First let me find resultant of the vectors. 4 minus 1 will be 3i. 3 plus 3 will be 6j. 6 minus 8 will be minus 2k. So this is my resultant vector. Now how do I know my answer is correct? Look at all four options. Tell me, in all four options, do I have this vector? Just check. Resultant vector. Do I have 3i plus 6j minus 2k, or do I have 3i, 6j and 2k in all? So can I say I am going on the right track? Also, can I say B and D option are wrong? Check. Also, can I say B and D option are wrong? Therefore, not only did I come to know my method is correct till now, I also came to know the two options are wrong because they are plus 2k and actual answer is minus 2k. Now, what is the formula for unit vector? What we did in the last class. Unit vector means R vector divided by mod of R vector, correct? What is the formula for unit vector? R vector by mod of R vector. Now, what is R vector? 3i plus 6j minus 2k divided by R vector means square root of 3 square plus 6 square plus 2 square. Now, tell me, what is 3 square? 9. 9 plus 36, 45. 45 plus 4, 49. What is square root of 49? Square root of 49 is 7. Square root of 49 is 7. Therefore, can I say my denominator will be 7? Therefore, between option A and option C, answer will be A. Therefore, can I say answer for question number 20 will be, tell me if all of you have understood this question. It is just we are finding the unit vector.
Understood, sir.
Question number 21, take it as your homework one. Question number 21, take it as your homework one. Question number 21, take it as your homework one. Start. Page 75, question number 22. Start and give me the answer. Okay, now question number 22. With respect to rectangular Cartesian coordinate system, three vectors are expressed as A vector is equal to 4i minus j, B vector is equal to minus 3i plus 2j, and C vector is equal to minus k, where I, j, k and unit vectors along x, y, z axis respectively. The unit vector r cap along the direction of some of these vectors. Okay, first let me take the resultant sum of these vectors first. Let me take the resultant sum. So tell me, 4i minus 3i will be only I. Minus j plus 2j will be just plus j. And minus k is only 1. Therefore, can I say this is the resultant, or can I say this is the sum of the three vectors, A vector, B vector, and C vector? All of you agree with this?
Yes.
This is my resultant vector, and I have to find the unit vector. So I have to find r cap. R cap will be resultant r vector upon mod of r vector. Therefore, it will be I plus j minus k divided by square root of 1 square plus 1 square plus 1 square. It will be divided by square root of 3. Now tell me, which option matches this
A.
square root?
Option A.
Can I say this also answer option A matches it?
Yes.
Can I say answer for this is also option A?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Question number 23, we have done it already in the past while I was doing dot product and cross product. Okay, so that is done already. Question number 24. Start. Question number 24. Page 75. Start. Okay, now I'll teach you this problem. Since I've got very few answers, I will explain the logic on the screen. After that, let me know if you have understood the logic. Okay. Now, look at question number 24, all of you. Look at question number 24. The position vector of a particle is determined by the expression r vector is equal to 3t square I cap plus 4t square j cap plus 7k cap. What is the distance traveled in the first 10 seconds? So whenever such question comes, we should find r vector at t is equal to 0 and r vector at t is equal to 10. Can I say t is equal to 0 is the starting point? Every experiment
Yes.
starts from 0
Yes, sir.
and 10 is what they have said they want. So first find what is r vector when t is equal to 0. Can anyone tell me if I put t equal to 0, what will be the value
7K.
of r? Can I say this will become 0? This will become 0. Can I say it will be only 7k? Therefore, can I
Yes.
say initially my distance was 7k? Now, put t equal to 10 and tell me what is r vector. Put t equal to 10.
300I plus
300i plus 400j,
plus 7K.
7K.
correct?
Yes.
Therefore, can I say this was r at 0 second, this is r at 10 second. Therefore, the total distance traveled in the first 10 second, can I say it will be r10 minus r0? Because in the first 10 second, how much distance it traveled? How much it traveled within the first 10 second minus how much it had already traveled in 0th second. Now, if I do r10 minus r0, it will become 300i plus 400j, because plus 7k and minus 7k will cancel.
Yes.
Now, this is my magnitude. Now, what is my magnitude of this? Means what is magnitude?
Sir, 500.
500.
Square root of 300 square plus 400 square. Square root of 300 square plus 400 square. Can I say my magnitude will be 500? Correct. That is the answer. Did you understand the logic? Now,
Yes.
if the same question they had said 20 seconds, then what would be the logic?
Sir, then
R20 minus R0.
So can I say only this step would remain the same?
Yes.
Here it would become 20. So can I say this would remain the same? Only this would change. Can I say the logic and the formula would remain the same? Therefore, in the question, whatever time they give you, 5, 10, 15, 20, only that you have to change. Every other step remains the same. Now try to do it on your own without seeing and tell me if you're able to get the answer as 500. Square root of 300 square plus 400 square, Uchit, magnitude. What is magnitude? Square root of I square plus j square. Understood, Uchit? Square root of I square plus j square. Square root of I square plus j square. Can we go to the next one?
yes, sir.
Okay, start. Question number, next one. Okay. Question number 25, page 75. Lavnish, very good answer. Joyom, very good answer. Others try to solve. Pick. I'll give exactly 1 more minute. Right till good answer. Dia, correct answer. Nikhil, correct answer. Okay, time up. I think everyone who had given me the answer has given me the right answer. Very quickly, let me show it for others also. A unit vector parallel to the resultant of the vector. So they have given a vector as 4i minus 3j and b vector is equal to 8i plus 8j. Now, what is the resultant of this? What is the resultant of this R? R resultant will be 8 plus 4, 12i plus. What is 8 minus 3?
5.
Therefore, the numerator will be 12i plus 5j. Therefore, unit vector will be R vector by mod of R vector, which will be 12i plus 5j divided by square root of 12 square plus 5 square. Therefore, my r cap, r unit vector is 12i plus 5j upon 144 plus 25 square root 169, that is 13. Therefore, can I say option B will be our right answer?
Yes.
Can I say option B will
Yes,
be
sir.
our right answer? Okay. Now, question number 26, page 76 is your next homework. Make a note. Question number 27, we had already done it while doing angle between the vectors. Okay. Now I want you to start question number 29, page 78, question number 29. Start. Page 78, question number 29. Start solving this. Getting the answer 29? I've got answers from 6 people and all of you have given me the right answer. I will do it for you. I'll do it for you. So just tell me if you're understanding. A vector, everyone listen, because every question, if you're not able to get it, I will tell you the logic so that in further questions, you'll be able to get the answer. So what they're saying, A vector will be 4i minus 3j and B vector will be 6i plus 8j. A vector will be 4i minus 3j. B vector will be 6i plus 8j. What is the magnitude and direction of A vector plus B vector? So I will do A vector plus B vector. Therefore, 4i plus 6i will be 10i plus, what is it? Minus 3 minus 3j plus 8j will be plus 5j. Tell me, are you getting clear? Therefore, can I say magnitude of A vector plus B vector will be magnitude of A vector plus B vector will be square root of 10 square plus 5 square. Therefore, it will be square root of 100 plus 25. It will be square root of 125. Now, square root of 125, if I look at it over here, I'm not getting square root of 125 directly. So can I write 125 is nothing but 25 into 5. Square root of 125 can be written as square root of 25 into 5. Square root of 25 is 5 root 5. Therefore, can I say magnitude is 5 root 5? This much is clear. Now, you're lucky that answer 5 root 5 is only in one of the options, correct? You are lucky that option 5 root 5 is only in one of the options. It is not there in all options. Therefore, you don't even need to find the direction. Now, direction formula, if you don't know, it is tan theta equal to B by A. Tan theta equal to B by A, where this is A and this is B. Now tell me, what is tan theta? Tan theta is B by A. So this with the I term is A, J term is B. Therefore, can I say tan theta is equal to 5 by 10? Can I say tan theta is equal to 5 by 10
Yes, sir.
or 1 by 2? So can I say if tan theta is 1 by 2, theta will be equal to tan inverse 1 by 2. Again, you don't need to do that in this problem, because in this problem, answer 5 root 5 is direct. But what if all the options had 5 root 5? Then you had to go ahead and do this answer. Therefore, answer for this particular question, question number 29, is B. Getting it? Answer for question number 29 is B.
Can you please explain that tan theta part again?
So tan theta is B by A. Okay, actually tan theta is B sin theta by A plus B cos theta, actual formula. I'm just giving you the shortcut formula where A will be the X component, B will be the Y component. Or tell me, in math, do you have this formula for slope? Think about it. Look at the screen. Tell me, in maths, do you have this formula for slope? Tan theta is equal to Y by X, correct? So what is
Yes,
the
sir.
correct? So what is the Y axis component? 5. What is the X axis component? 10. Therefore, theta is equal to tan inverse 5 by 10, or it is tan inverse half. Getting it now?
Yes, sir.
This is the formula from maths actually. Slope. Okay.
So even if the vector has a k value, we'll still go by b by a.
This is only for 2 dimension. Okay, slope. If the k value comes, the angle I'll tell you. Then you have to do 2 and do this.
Okay, sir.
This is only for a plane. Plane means what? XY.
Okay, sir.
Question number 30. Take it as your next homework. How many homeworks are done? Please keep a note. We'll have to do 10 homework today. Question number 30 is your homework. Question number 32, we have already done it in the past. Okay. Question number 32, we have already done it in the past. Now start with question number 34. Every one of you
Sir,
start
30
with...
and 31 also homework.
No. Whatever I don't do, 30 is homework. 30 is homework. 31 don't do. 32 we have already done in the past. 33 do not do. Means whichever question I do not talk about, leave that question. Okay. 34. Start with question number 34. I hope you remember the formula for resultant. Please once look at the screen. We have done resultant of a vector. What is it? Square root of a square plus b square plus 2.
cos theta.
Correct. This is the clue we have done in our last class.
Yes.
Using this logic, try to solve question number 34. I will also do it on the screen in some time. Okay, start. Two forces each of magnitude F have resultant of the same magnitude F. That means we have done the same problem in the example actually. Okay? We have done a similar or same problem in the example. Means A is equal to B is equal to R, all have the same value F. This is the meaning of the first statement. Check. Two forces each of magnitude F, that means two forces which are A and B, which have magnitude F, have a resultant of the same magnitude F. What is angle between the two forces? So now I'll write, instead of R, F is equal to square root of F square plus F square plus 2 into F cos theta. Therefore, F is equal to square root of F square plus F square will be 2F square plus 2F square cos theta.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, F equal to, tell me, how did we proceed in the example? We did something common. Tell me, what was that?
2F square.
Taking 2f square common.
You have taken 2F square common. So inside the bracket, I have just 1 plus cos theta. So now, what is the next step? What is the next step?
Sir, F square out of the root.
Yes.
Take F square out of that. Okay, so F is equal to F square out of that will be F inside the bracket 2 into 1 plus cos theta. Correct?
Yes.
Now, what can I say? F and F will cancel. Therefore, can I say 1 is equal to square root of 2 into 1 plus cos theta?
Yes.
Correct? Now, let me erase.
Squaring.
Correct. Squaring both sides. 1 square will be 1 itself.
Yes.
On the right hand side, if I square, it will become 2 into 1 plus cos theta.
Yes.
Or can I say half is equal to 1 plus cos theta?
Yes.
So half minus 1 is equal to cos theta.
Cos theta equal to minus 1 by 2.
Cos theta is equal to minus half. So cos of which angle is minus half? We did it last
Cos
time.
of 120.
Answer is 120 degree. Check. Answer will be 120 degree, which answer is B. Answer will be B. Tell me, all of you are getting it now?
Yes, sir.
Easy?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now the next question is question number 35. Start. Easy question. Question number 35. Page number 76. Start. Okay, now see this. I'll tell you how to solve this kind of problem. Okay? A particle is simultaneously acted by two forces equal to 4 Newton and 3 Newton. So when two forces act, listen to me carefully. When two forces act, they can constructively add or destructively add. Okay, means when two forces come together, they can combine with each other or they can oppose each other. So if they combine with each other, can I say answer will be 7?
Yes.
Or if they go against each other, can I say it will be 1?
Yes.
How did I get it? I got it as 4 plus 3 equal to 7. and 4 minus 3 equal to 1. But I don't know how they are acting because they have not said. Therefore, my answer can be anywhere between 1 and 7.
D.
Therefore,
Option.
answer will be D, anywhere between 1 and 7.
Yes.
Correct? Therefore, answer for this particular question is D.
Sir.
Okay?
Hello, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, can you explain again?
So, two forces are given. You add them first. What is the answer? 7. You subtract them. What is the answer? 1. Therefore, your answer can be anywhere between addition and subtraction. Therefore, your addition will give me 7 and subtraction will give me 1. Therefore, your answer can be anywhere between 1 and 7 because in the question, they have not given you more data.
Okay, sir.
Question number 36. Take it as your homework 4. Now start with question number 37. Page number 76. Question number 37. Start. Now, look at the question. I think people have given me the answer. Correct, Krish. Everyone has given me the right answer. Whoever has given me the answer. Look at this. Forces F1 and F2 act on a point of mass in two mutually perpendicular directions. Two mutually perpendicular directions means theta equal to 90.
Yes.
Therefore, what is the resultant? So, resultant will be square root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos 90. Correct? Because angle is 90. Therefore, can I say the resultant will be, what is cos 90? 0. Therefore, can I say this whole term will become 0?
Yes.
Therefore, can I say R will be equal to square root of F1 square plus F2 square. This is my value for resultant. R will be square root of F1 square plus F2 square. Therefore, which is that option? Option C. Are you getting it?
Yes.
R is equal to, okay. Now, question number 38, we have already done while doing angles. Question number 39, tell me if you have done it already, just check. Tell me if you have done question number 39. Okay, if you have not done, start question number 39. It's a direct question. Start with question number 39. magnitude of a vector which comes on addition of two vectors, that is 6i plus 7j. This is the first vector. And the second vector is 3i plus 4j. This is the second vector. They are saying addition. Therefore, addition will be 6 plus 3, 9i plus 11j. Then I want the magnitude of a vector. Therefore, magnitude will be square root of 9 square plus 11 square. That will be square root of 9 square is 81.
120.
Which answer is it? Answer is C. Therefore, 39 answer will be C. Correct. Start with 40th one. Start with 40th one. 40. Start with 40th one. You just have to find the magnitude. Okay. You just have to find the magnitude. That is, sum of the displacements is the magnitude. Start. Okay, now listen. A particle is having a displacement of 12 meter towards east, 5 meter towards north, and 6 meter vertically upward. The sum of these displacements is vector sum. Vector sum will be, look at this, square root of 12 square plus 5 square plus 6 square. Tell me, what will be the answer for this? It will be square root of 12 square is 144 plus 25 plus 36. Therefore, our answer will be close to what?
14.
Approximately close to 14.
14. C.
Answer, the closest option will be C. Just check.
Yes.
Okay. 41st we have already done as a part of the angle. Turn the page. In this page, 48 also we have done as a part of this problem. Question number 50. Take it as your next homework. Question number 50. Take it as your next homework. Question number 50. Take it as your next homework. Start with question number 51. It's a direct question. Start question number 51.
Fever.
I think my screen has stopped, right? Just 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Start with question number 51. The confusion is between option A and option D because I'm getting half of you giving me the option as A and half of you giving me the option as D. Just check which is the exact answer, A or D. So F1 plus F2 plus F3 is 0. Therefore, find F3 because the resultant is 0. So you have to find F3. So tell me, what do you think should be the answer for F3?
D.
D, sir.
Sir, D.
Answer will be D itself. Can I say it's a direct question? Answer
Yes.
will be D. Clear, all of you? Okay. Now, start with question number 53. Again, the same way you have to find magnitude. Start with question number 53. Now you have to find the magnitude the same way. Tell me what should be the answer. So my resultant velocity I have to find out. It will be square root of 20 square plus 15 square. It will be square root of 15 square plus 20 square. This is the clue. Now tell me, what will be the answer?
Root of
20 square will be
625.
400 plus 225. It will be square root of 625, which will be 25.
25.
So answer will be D. Just check.
Yes.
Answer will be D. Got it? Now, again, the same logic. Come to question number 56. Come to question number 56. Start. Question number 56. Start. Question number 56. Start. So a person goes 10 kilometer in one direction and 20 kilometer in the other direction. Therefore, can I say the resultant will be square root of 10 square plus 20 square? Correct. Therefore, it will be square
Sir,
root of 100.
screen sharing is not on.
Yes, sir.
Mhm. Okay, it is connecting. 1 minute. But it's just connecting. It is still connected. Hold on. But I'll tell you orally, it will be square root of 10 square plus 20 square. That will become square root of 100 plus 400. That will become square root of 500. Now, square root of 500 will be similar to
22.36.
22.36 because 20 is 4, 2 and 5 are not there. Therefore, option A itself will be the answer. Correct? Okay. Now, 57, we have done it while we were doing angle problems. 58, start. Start with question number 58. To start, in the meantime, I'll try to get the screen back. Okay, 1 minute. Can you see now, all of you, the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now question number 58, what they are saying, in which pair of the following forces will never get the answer as 2? Okay, so first is 2 and 2. Tell me, what is 2 plus 2? 4. 2 minus 2, 0. Therefore, the range of this force is 0 to 4. What is the next one? 1 and 1. What is 1 plus 1?
2.
2. What is 1 minus 1? 0.
0.
Therefore, the range of this force is 0 to 2. Third one is 1 and 3. Third one is 1 and 3. What is 1 plus 3? 4. What is 3 minus 1? 2. Therefore, can I say the range is 2 to 4? See the last one. It is 4 and 1. So 4 plus 1 is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. The range of this force is 3. Now tell me, in these range, in which of the following 2 will not come at all?
Last
Sir,
one.
D.
Sir, D.
And I say in option D, 2 will not come at all. In all other options, 2 will come either as lower limit or as upper limit or in between limit. Correct? But in option D, 2 is not there itself in the range because the range itself is from 3 to 5. Therefore, answer is D. Did you understand now? It is very simple. So in the exam, they might change the number, but this is the logic. So in the exam, they might give you any number. You have to do plus and minus, get the options and get the answer. Okay, don't by heart like this. I hope you got the logic. Any number they can ask you, any two numbers they can give you. You'll have to get it. So this is the answer for question number 58. Let me know if you have understood it.
Understood, sir.
59 starts on it. 59. Start solving question number 59. See here, two forces, 3 Newton and 2 Newton are at an angle theta such that resultant is R. So look at the screen. The first force A is 3. The second force B is 2. Are at an angle theta such that the resultant is R. So tell me, what is the formula for resultant? R is equal to square root of A square
plus B square
B square plus 2AB cos theta. Correct? This is the formula for resultant R. Therefore,
Yes.
R is equal to square root of A square will be 9 plus B square will be 4 plus 2 into 3 into 2 cos theta. Correct? Therefore, R will be equal to, what is 9 plus 4? 13 plus 3 into 2, 6 into 2, 12 cos theta. Tell me, are you getting this as your first result?
Yes.
You're getting it as 13 plus 12 cos theta. This is R. So this will be my first equation. All of you got this?
Yes.
Now look at the second part of the question. Look at the second part of the question. The second part of the question is, the first force is now increased to 6 Newton. So now can I say A will be equal to 6? And the resultant will become 2R. The resultant will become 2R. They have not said anything about B. Therefore, second force will remain as 2 itself.
Okay.
So now, if I apply the formula, I will get 2R is equal to square root of 6 square is 36 plus 2 square is 4 plus 2 into A into B. So tell me, what is 2 into 6 into 2?
24.
24.
Or can I say 2R is equal to square root of 36 plus, no, I'll add one thing on that. I cannot add like that. I can add only 36 plus 4. I can add 40.
Cos theta.
Correct? Everyone agrees with this much?
Yes.
Now I have two equations. Check. Can I get R from this? Start and tell me what method you use to get the value of R. Actually, you have to get the value of theta, not R. So your R has to go away. So tell me, what will you do?
Sir, we can first square the R and then divide the second equation by 4. So
Or
it
we can
would-
directly divide equation 2 by 1 and then square, even that is possible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do equation 2 divided by equation 1. Tell me, what will you get? Start.
Sir, equation 2 divided?
No. We'll get cos.
Sir, theta, then we get 120.
We'll get theta 120. That is correct. If you're getting theta as 120, that is correct. But I want you to show me the method. Like, not show me the method. I want you to get the method.
Sir, I multiplied the first equation by 4 and then equated both the equations.
You are multiplying the first equation by 4. Before that, we'll need to square the equation, right? If you're doing that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I have also squared and done.
Okay, wait. I'll write both the equations again. Wait 1 minute or 1 minute. I will erase everything else. 1 minute. Everyone stop. This is my first equation. And this is my second equation. Correct? Now what I'll do is I will take the first equation to the top here. And I will take the second equation also to the top. Okay, now these are the two equations. Now tell me, if I name this as equation 1 and equation 2, tell me what is the best approach? Squaring both sides first or what? Dividing?
Sir, squaring.
Sir, actually, it
Squaring?
would be the same.
Okay, so I will square equation 1. Everyone look at the screen. If I square equation 1, I will get R square is equal to 13 plus 12 cos theta. Everyone getting this? Now this is my equation A. And if I square equation 2, I will get 4R square is equal to 40 plus 24 cos theta. Now tell me, what should I do?
Then
Sir,
second equation divide by 4.
by
Divide by 4, yes.
Yes, sir.
Equation what?
Equation B divided by 4.
Equation B whole divided by 4.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now if I do equation B divided by 4, I will get r square on the left hand side is equal to 40 by 4, 10
Plus
plus
6 cos theta.
6 cos theta. Can I say this is my equation C?
Yes, sir.
Then
Sir, then A and C
A is
equal.
equal to C.
Yes, sir.
A and C are equal because left hand side is same. So I have to equate the right hand side. Correct? Understanding the logic? So I have to equate the right hand side of A and C. That means I can say 13 plus 12 cos theta is equal to 10 plus 6 cos theta. Getting
Yes.
this?
Yes, sir.
So if I take 12 minus 6 will become 6 cos theta and 10 minus 13 will become minus 3.
Minus 3.
Yes.
Or cos theta will be equal to minus 3 divided by 6 or
120
minus
degree.
half. Correct, 120. So
120
cos
degree.
theta is minus half. If cos theta is minus half, theta is 120. Getting it? It's
Yes.
very easy, okay? This kind of problems, you have to just apply a little bit of math in equations.
Linear equations.
Linear, correct. Simultaneous also you can do.
Oh.
Tell me if you can manage to do it again without seeing.
Yes, sir.
Start. And
Yes, sir.
see, many questions come like this. So please be aware of the formula, resultant formula. Okay? So start. I'll give you 1 minute to practice it again on your own. And then we go to the next one. Okay, all of you got it? How many homework questions have you written? Or how many homework questions have you taken?
5.
5.
5. Okay. Question number 60, 61, 60, 61, take it as homework.
Sir, can you repeat?
60 homework, 61 homework, 62 homework. Now, 64, try to answer. 64, try to answer. It is a direct question. If two forces 12 Newton and 8 Newton act upon a body, then the resultant force has a maximum value of, that is 12 plus 8, which will be 20. Now, 65. Try to answer. 65. Start. Most of you are giving me the answer as C. So let me check if the answer is correct. Okay. Now the question is two equal forces P each act at a point. Therefore, what is the resultant formula? R is equal to, what is the formula? Square root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. But here they are saying two equal forces of P each. Therefore, A is equal to B is equal to P. Correct? A is equal to B is equal to P. And they have also said that theta equal to 120 degree. Therefore, what is the magnitude of their resultant? Okay, so let me start. R is equal to square root of P square plus P square plus 2 into P cos 120. Therefore, R is equal to P square plus P square is 2P square plus 2P square
into minus 1 by 2.
Minus R.
Which one?
Into minus 1 by 2.
Minus 1 by 2. Why?
Sir, cos 120.
That will come again. What is cos 120 value? Cos 120 is minus R. Therefore, R equal to 2P square minus P square, correct? Or R equal to square root of 2P square minus P square is square root of P square itself. Now, R equal to square root and square cancels. R equal to P. Therefore, answer will be C. Just check. Easy? Getting it, all of you? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Question number 66. Start. Direct question.
Option A.
Correct. Others, tell me the answer. Question number 66. $66. Answer will be A. Tell me, are you getting it? 66 answer will be A. Tell me, are you getting it? Correct. So what is it? The vectors phi I plus 8j and 2I plus 7j are added. I'll get 7I plus 15j. What is the magnitude of the sum of this? Sum of this is this. Magnitude will be 49 plus 225, which will be 274. Therefore, option will be A. Check. Are you getting it? Okay. Now, from question number 67 to next page, 96, 97, all we have covered, which are important either as homework or as a part of the angles. That is dot product and cross product. I hope you remember that class where we had done problems on dot product and cross product. That is scalar product and vector product. Now turn the page, come to page number 80. In this, we have done 100 also. We have done, most of them we have done. 1 minute. 106 also is done. I'll tell you which question you need to do, which we have not done. 1 minute. That also is okay. All questions are related to dot product and cross product. 1 minute. Question number 124, take it as a homework of Lami's theorem. You have taken homework as Lami's theorem. The question which is related to Lami's theorem is question number 124. So make a note of that. Question number 124 is your next homework. Question number 124 is your next homework. Okay, next page. Come to question number 129. Question number 129. Start. Question number 129. Start answer. Answer is relative velocity. Relative velocity means difference. So what is the difference between the two velocities? You have to find out. Start. Relative velocity is with respect to the ground. So it will be first velocity minus the second velocity. And if I go to do that, it will become 3i plus 4j minus 3i minus 4j. So
Sir, answer would be C. Answer would be C, right?
Correct. 3i plus 4j plus 3i plus 4j plus 3i plus 4j again. So it will become 6i plus 8j. 6i plus 8j. Correct? Now answer will be C. Correct. Answer is C. Correct. 6i plus 8j. Now 130. Start. Question number 130. Now we'll start question number 130. We'll start question number 130. What is the relative velocity of the parrot with respect to the train. Okay. So 150-meter long trail is moving with a speed of 10. That is moving north. Parrot is flying towards south. Therefore, 10 minus 5, can I say relative velocity will be 15? All of you got it?
Yes, sir.
10 north minus south means minus 5 because it is going opposite direction. Therefore, relative velocity of the parrot is 15. So, time taken will be, okay, distance by speed, correct? Time taken is distance by speed. Now, what is the total distance of the train? It is given as 150. Check. The total distance of the train means what is the total length of the train? Total length of the train is 150. And what is the relative velocity of the parrot or speed? 15. Therefore, can I say answer will be 10 seconds?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, can you explain again?
Getting it?
Can you explain again?
So we have to find time taken, okay? You have to find time taken. Now, time taken is distance by speed. Correct? That formula everyone knows. Distance is clear. It is 150. That is also clear. Now, relative velocity, if you look at the question, they have given two velocities. One is 10 northwards and one is 5 southwards. Now, if the velocities are in opposite direction, they add up. Therefore, 10 plus 5, 15. Therefore, relative velocity becomes 15. Total distance is 150. Therefore, 150 divided by 15 will give me the answer as 10.
Okay, sir.
Now, next question. (137) same logic. Try to answer. Question number 137, same logic. Tell me what should be the answer. 137.
Sir, D.
D, 8 seconds.
Correct. Others, try to solve. Answer is correct. Try to solve. Others, all of you.
Sir, it is D only.
Okay, now listen. Question number 137, a 120-meter long train means distance is 120, is moving west with a speed of 10, bird is moving east with a speed of 5, therefore relative speed will be 15. Everyone understood how?
Yes.
Same like the previous problem.
Same logic.
So in this case, it is 120 divided by 15, therefore answer will be 8.
Yes.
I hope you're understanding the logic. Logic is same. They might give you any number, but you just have to use the same logic. Similarly, 138, we have done this kind of problem before. You just have to find the magnitude, square root of something square plus something square. Start. 138. We have done similar problems. 138. Now the next, what will be the answer? Tell me. Square root of
B.
8 square plus 10 square, correct?
Yeah.
Square root of 8 square plus 10 square.
Subtraction.
Easy?
8.
Okay, now listen.
Sir, it would be 10 minus 8, right?
Yes,
Ah, sir.
The square root of this plus minus square will be same, no? It will become plus only. Minus square also will become plus only, no, ultimately.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, understood.
Correct, Nikhil. Correct. Okay, now listen, all of you. This completes our foundation physics. Now, foundation physics is made up of 3 important topics. Let me repeat. Differentiation, integration, vectors. We have done all 3, and you will be getting the recordings also of all. Most of you already have it. I'll give the complete playlist, including today's class. Where major importance, let me tell you, you will have to give to cross product and dot product. I hope you were there for those classes where we have done many problems on dot product, many problems on cross product. Even in the previous year's exams, you will see problems on dot and cross. Don't get confused. I hope everyone knows how to find cross and dot. If you don't know, see the recording of that class and revise. So this completes your first module, that is foundation physics. Tomorrow, again, you have a class. Wait, let me stop recording first. 1 minute.